the U.S. national debt. So the published debt has actually just recently topped $26 trillion. I don't know about you, but I can't personally count that high. That's a tremendous amount of money. You know, in February, the national debt was 23.4 trillion. But what happened? What happened was the COVID pandemic. Now all of a sudden we have topped 26 trillion due to exponential printing of money, quantitative easing, which we'll get into in the next segment, and just stimulus money, just money being created out of thin air. To put things in perspective, if we go back 20 years to the year 2000, the national debt was published at 5.7 trillion. In 2008, 9.9 trillion. And in 2012, 15.3. Do we see a pattern here? We just continually raise and raise and raise. So by 2024, it is projected that our national debt will be north of $45 trillion. In 2028, just 4 years beyond that, less than a decade away, $79 trillion. Okay, so what exactly is the national debt and why does it keep going up? Well, it's debt that's held by the public. In other words, bonds. Bonds are debt instruments that you'll learn about a little bit later in this course. Buyers of bonds could include citizens, international investors, and foreign governments. You hear oftentimes how China owns our debt. Well, this is exactly how they do that. They buy bonds and we pay them interest in return. Also included in the number is something called intra-government debt. It's a very technical term, I understand, but it's debt that's owed to other departments such as pensions, Social Security, and some other programs. There's two ways to reduce this debt. We have to either cut spending or raise taxes, or a combination of the both. The catch, cutting spending too much can actually slow economic growth, which will lead to lower revenues and potentially a larger deficit because the government is now taking less money in. And the other way is to raise taxes. The problem with raising taxes is people have less money in their pockets when they pay more in taxes. So they have less money to spend, which could cause a slowdown in economic growth. In addition, if taxes are raised too much, it's essentially political suicide, which leads me to say the national debt is an issue that'll probably never be solved.